Hello there. Just wanted to do a quick video on template imports. Been wanting to do a few videos on just like experimental kind of add-ons or features or like things that you normally wouldn't use in production apps, but just to get some information out there, have more people looking at these things, even if they don't try them out in their own apps. So today I'm going to look at the template imports add-on, which uses some new low-level APIs that are public in Ember now. Not sure which version, maybe 3.25 or something like that. But you can use this add-on today, and it gives you two different syntaxes for template imports. So one syntax is a new kind of file type, so .gjs. I think GTS works as well, and probably there's some caveats still with that, but so we'll do that one first. We want to tackle that, and then the second format is a template literal string here, and that one doesn't require a special extension, but they both work the same way. They basically take in the scope around them, so you can define like import a component and then use it directly inside there. So there's some kind of transformation that happens, that you don't have to wire these values directly into like the template literal or in here. So today I'm just gonna do a quick component, just two versions of it. So country list. So let me just render those here. I've already installed this add-on. If you go to the bottom here, you have Ember install. So just ran that, and that, as far as I know, you could probably install that with npm or yarn directly, because I don't think there's any blueprints. But let me go ahead and rename this file here to gjs. Okay, and do that. Okay, so I have a list of countries here. We have a component, and we'll define a template in here. And inside of the template, we can render this list. So countries as country. And you'll notice right away that VS Code isn't happy with the syntax. So I mean, this is still very alpha kind of stuff. So this syntax is not supported in VS Code yet or other editors. So that's one caveat to know when you use this. Same with GTS, the types just don't work yet. And TypeScript doesn't know about this format either. But I mean, it's eventually going to be improved, and there will be highlighting, and just like there won't be errors that are going on. So something to look forward to as well, but I mean, something to realize right now that you probably don't want to use this in your app yet, but it's worth giving a try. Let me just start this, and I think I am already starting it. Oops, it's running on the terminal here. Let me refresh that. So that's not working yet. Let me add this here. Save. And okay, so looks like something's going on. No errors. Let's see. Cannot use import statements outside a module. I wonder. No, I did template imports is right there. Yeah. Refresh that. Might have to restart this. No, it's still complaining. Very interesting. What am I doing that isn't working? So I think that should work. Let's see, our syntax looks correct. So I'm gonna go down here. There's an example of a class-based version. Yeah, so let's see if there's any issues that are filed. That's interesting. So I mean, I know I've mentioned this. It's not the same. Okay, that's pretty interesting that it's not working. Like I said, this is new, and there are definitely some kind of issues going on. So let me try to add countries. See if that helps. No. Yeah, so this is, for some reason it's building it incorrectly. Looks like everything else looks correct, but it's just it's not putting it inside of a module. Okay, well, we can switch gears. Let me go back to the other syntax. So if we do import HBS, so notice you have to import it for Ember template imports. It's different than the HTML bars import. And we'll do the same thing here. So let's see here. Class syntax. Yeah, so static. And we just copy content from here. Let's see if that works, and we'll add it to our application here. And we can remove this one. I might have to delete this file. There we go. So we have, that's rendered. It's like we have our output, and let me just drop this to the bottom here in case if we need to see any issues. Okay, so that's, as you notice, the countries is not defined on the component, and it can use it. So that's the scope-based setup there. I can also do, like I can define a component inline here. So let's see here. And we'll do country.name. And we can render that here. So Okay, and if we, so as you can see, it's using the span. We can add some styles real quick. Okay, so there we go. So that we have a little bit of so that kind of shows what you can do. If you notice here, you can also import helpers modifiers. I'm not going to do the modifier one, but I will, just because I have to install Ember modifier. I'll show the helper one, and let's see here. So we'll just lowercase the country name, and so value. So we just define a lowercase, and let me actually just move that above here. And so we can use that in here. If we go back here, you'll see it's all lowercase. So I mean, that makes things pretty powerful. You can also go ahead and define helpers like this on the component class here. So let's see here. Add index. Let's see here, and we'll take an object and an index. And we'll add that index in the object. So in here we could do, so I mean, this doesn't show the power of that, but you could use state on the component here inside this helper, and that would be pretty useful for a lot of situations. But here I just want to do something like this, and index here. That value was not, let's see what happens. Oh, I didn't use this in that case because it's not on the scope over there. Interesting, 2 lowercase of undefined, because we're not returning. So I'm setting it here. So return the object. Let's see. There we go, and we can use it in here. There we go. So we have an index now. So that's pretty powerful. I think there's even talks about making this a pure, just a function without having to wrap it in helper. And the same thing works for modifiers, as you can see here. Modifiers go on elements. That's pretty powerful as well. And you can use state from the component. So I mean, that's the basics. those are the basics of how template imports work. And basically you get like single file components with multiple components in them if you need that. And like in a situation like this, like something really small, it's super easy to just put a component in the same file, and then having the template there as well. I know there's discussion about different formats of imports, and basically what this add-on does is basically a test playground that if you have an idea, feel free to submit a pull request to add a different format of import. Like I know there were some ideas floating around before about having imports in your templates. So I mean, that's interesting as well if somebody wants to implement that. And basically what the community ends up liking most, I think, will probably make it into Ember itself. So it's installed by default when you create a new app, and how we go forward in building new apps. Yeah, so that's really cool. I guess I'll probably file an issue about GJS not working out of the box right now. Looks like there's some kind of bug somewhere. Maybe I need to use a different version of Ember or something. I'll have to look through the issues. But I mean, this is exciting. I'm excited about this. Yeah, I mean, it really puts Ember into a new light, and I just want to see how where we end up with this new syntax. I still hope that we keep like a conventional kind of file structure, but this definitely lets us explore a little more. And I for one still use pods kind of halfway, like for routes, controllers, and components. Obviously templates for routes, but not for like models or services. But being able to locate your components next to your routes is super useful, especially if you want to tree shake and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I wish I could have shown the other syntax. I kind of prefer the other syntax, but this syntax is nice too because you can actually add TS types really easily on here without making it confusing. Yeah, and if you want to do a template only component, you can just export something like this, so export default HBS like that, and that would be a template only without a backing class, which we have here. So I mean, if you have any questions, let me know in the chat. Yeah, maybe try it out, see how you like it. Yeah, I mean, I'm already using it in some add-ons that in an add-on that I'm working on. It's been good. So I hope that was instructive for you, and yeah, hope you see you in the next video. Take care.